Hello friends, welcome to technical and option chain analysis. So before we start our option chain analysis, let's see what has Nifty done today. So if we see today's opening, that is around at 11,580, and we can see that Nifty has continued the yesterday's uptrend for the whole day. We can clearly see that this is the uptrend and Nifty was following for the whole day. So now if we want to predict the Nifty for tomorrow, then if we see the chart, so since last 2 days we can clearly see that Nifty is going continuously upside. So for tomorrow, if Nifty try to retrace for some levels, if then we can see that this is going to be our first resistance around 637, and if Nifty try to go further down to this, then we have this is the second resistance around at 605, and if Nifty crossed below to this 11,600, then this is the last resistance we have at 11,550. Now one more thing which I need to discuss in today's Nifty chart analysis. If we see the 6 months chart, let me show you, and let me remove this trend line, and if we see the downtrend line, see this was the trend line we have, sorry, let me select the line, yeah. So this was the first point. Over here we have the second point, and we can clearly see that today's candle close above to this trend line. We can clearly see that if Nifty tomorrow try to go further upside, then the next resistance that is going to be this one, 11,710. We can clearly see over from this point Nifty started the downfall, and if Nifty tries to go further upside, then this is the our point which we have, then 12,000, yeah. So if Nifty try to go further upside in the coming days, then 12,000 is going to be our second strong resistance, and then this is the last resistance that we have around 12,100. So if Nifty break this three resistance, then we can see the further upside in the Nifty. Now let's go to the option chain analysis, and we'll try to find out support and resistance for the 21st of October, as 19th and 20th is a weekend. So we'll study option chain analysis for the 21st of October. So as Nifty closed at around 11,661, we'll start our analysis with 11,700. So let's see what we have at 11,700. So at 11,700 we can see the net change is minus 48, and as the change in open interest is 2.4 lakh contracts, it means put writers or put seller sold the contracts. Now what is the thinking of put writers or put seller? They will sell the contracts only when they feel that Nifty is going to sustain above to this strike price, which is 11,700. Now if we see further upside at 11,600, we can see the net change is minus 33, and the change in open interest is almost 1 million record, and the cumulative open interest is 15 lakh contracts. So 11,600 is going to be a very strong support for Nifty for 21st of October. Reason being, we can see the huge amount of contracts has been added at 11,600. And if we see further downside at 11,500, we can see the change in open interest is 4.5 lakh contracts, and the cumulative open interest is almost 16 lakh contracts. And as the net change is minus 20, it means the put writers sold the contracts at this strike price. But if we see the change in open interest, this is highest at strike price 11,600. So for tomorrow it will be difficult for Nifty to go down to 11,600, and if Nifty try to go further down to 11,600, then 11,500 is going to be a very strong support for 21st of October. Reason being, if we see the highest cumulative open interest is at strike price 11,500. So now let's go to the call side, and we'll try to find resistance for 21st of October. So if we see at 11,700, we can see the change in open interest is 5.1 lakh contracts, and the cumulative open interest is almost 13 lakh contracts. And as the net change is plus 23, it means call buyers bought the contracts at this strike price. Now if we see further down at 11,800, we can see the net change is 6.3 lakh contracts, and the cumulative open interest is almost 1 million contracts. and again the net change is plus 13. It means the call buyers bought the contracts. Now if we see the above side at 11,600, we can see the change in open interest is 8.2 lakh contracts, and the change in open interest is minus 25,000 records. It means they have unwind their position. So after studying this put side and call side, we can see that 11,600 is going to be a very strong support, and even if we see further down at 11,500, we can see the call unwinding. The calls writers or call sellers who sold the contracts, they have unwind their position at these prices. And if we see at further down level, we can see the change in open interest at strike price 12,000 is almost 6.5 lakh records, and the cumulative open interest is almost 1 million records. So after studying this strike prices, we can see the highest change in open interest is at strike price 12,000, and if we see the highest cumulative open interest is still at strike price 11,700. So we can see the change in open interest are increasing at upper side, which indicates the bullishness in the Nifty. And even if we see at the put side, we can see that yesterday the highest cumulative open interest was at strike price 11,500. Now which is today it is shifted to 11,600, which indicates the bullish trend in the Nifty. So if we want to bound a Nifty in a range, then according to my analysis, this is going to be 11,550 to 11,800. We can clearly see in a chart that Nifty tried to retrace at this particular points. We can see the in 15-minute candlestick chart, we can see that 3 red candle has created at this strike price, and if Nifty try to go further down to this prices, then we have discussed that 11,500 when 50 is going to be a strong support for the Nifty. So thank you friends for watching this video, and if you like it, then please subscribe our channel and hit the like button. Thank you friends.